this is going to be a great show. So for those listening, David and Kristen, and we've got a slew of awards we're going to hand out based on all the retail news we saw this past year. None of us know what each other's going to say. So this is going to be totally spontaneous. And quite honestly, it's going to be really interesting to see where we line up and where we diverge in our opinions. And I can't wait for it. So let's get right to it, I think. Ann, Dave, Kristen. All right, let's go. First category, I'm going to start off with a bang. As Ann said, Retailer of the Year. Kristen, why don't you go first?
Oh, you're picking me first, huh?
Oh, yes, of course. Yes. Ladies first, as always.
Look, I think, first of all, when I thought about how was I actually going to evaluate, what was the framework to pick the Retailer of the Year, one of my key points was what happened to the stock, assuming it's a public retailer.
Right. That's kind of an important point. Yes.
Kind of an important one. And beyond that, what sort of bold moves did this retailer make to not only survive, but thrive during COVID?
Mm-hmm.
And you know me, I've always got to go back to my roots, which is in shoes.
Okay.
So I am picking Crocs.
Crocs, really? So no personal bias going into this one. Okay. Crocs.
Right.
Why Crocs? What is your rationale?
Oh, stock price up 130% this year. Figured out really how to tap into kind of the cultural zeitgeist of being different, right? Which certainly engaged not only millennials, but the Gen Z population.
Yep.
Made bold moves of getting out of certain wholesale distribution, obviously had right-sized their store fleet, doubled down on digital. And look, they're also making a sustainability play, with ThredUp. And on top of that, have pitched, I think by 2025, to make even much more significant gains in the sustainability front. So I'm all about Crocs.
Okay. I got to tell you, it's feeling a little like my Peloton pick last year.
It is
one that I tend to regret looking back on things. But all right, let's see who else we got here. Ann, what about you?
Well, Kristen, I got to ask first, are you like a pro Crocs wearing and pro Crocs stock? Because that's going to determine how I feel about you.
Actually, I'm not a Croc wearer.
Okay. Thank God.
At
all right.
But I do have a family of Crockers.
Yes. Okay. Likewise. But yes, I think that's a great pick. I was not expecting.
It's definitely. I hadn't considered them, but yeah, I mean, when you look at the stock price, that's pretty impressive. But Ann, what did you think?
Okay. My Retailer of the Year is Albertsons.
Yes. All right. Okay.
I picked Albertsons because number one, Chris Rupp, like that woman is just killing it. I know we're going to say CEO of the year. I wish I could pick Chief Digital and Customer Officer of the Year because that woman I think she's just tearing stuff up over there.
Yeah.
They are doing, they have
pretty
done
innovative.
Tons of tests this year with Instacart and other third-party delivery providers. They are testing fast. They are putting everything out there and they are pulling it back when it's not working. They just launched the new micro fulfillment center in the Jewel Osco in Chicago, right down the street from Amazon, which I think is another smart move. They're doing the most, I think, in terms of tech to be defensible against Amazon Fresh and the threat to grocery that provides. And then lastly, I think, we talked about it earlier in the year, the automated kiosk that they did with Cleveron in the parking lot of Jewel Osco. Also, Chris Rupp said in her interview that I did with her, she's like, we are trying to make food, which is a very personal thing, so much simpler for families. We're trying to bank on convenience and make life better for our customers. And I really think that they did that this year.
Yeah, I like that. That was actually my second pick, believe it or not.
Oh.
Yeah. And the stock price too, up double where it was this time last year. So I think 15 versus 30 now, as I just looked that up. But they were my second pick. So
who was your first pick?
You want me to tell you now, or do you want to go hear what Dave has to say?
Let's go with Dave first.
Okay.
Yeah, you can.
I want to see if Dave has mine. I want to see if you picked mine. I'm curious.
All right. So mine is Lululemon.
Wow. Okay. You guys both come with the
some
apparel companies. All right.
I think you have to add some context of what a crazy year it's been for Lulu. They did a mirror acquisition. Their Peloton partnership melted down and resulted in a lawsuit. They're facing supply chain issues and labor issues. And yet they still managed to deliver a record year. I don't know if you guys saw, but their Q3 revenue was up 30%, and it's not on a small base. We're talking billions.
Mm-hmm.
And underneath that, if you peel it back, their men's business is exploding. So the men's business is up 44%. So they've really cracked how to expand into men's. And you can also see that their international is taking off. So the international expansions plans are going incredibly well. So I think in the face of some real serious headwinds and challenges, their ability to execute and deliver has just been amazing this year.
Okay, interesting. They were my pick for 2019, and if you remember back that far. Yeah, Dave, I have one question for you though. Like, what do you think about the Mirror acquisition? They pretty much lowered the expectations pretty handedly in that last earnings statement. What do you think about that? Does that put any dent into how you're feeling about this?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think the Mirror acquisition is going to take time, right? It certainly hasn't kind of taken off at the rate that they expected. But nonetheless, I think, if you had asked anyone if they'd be up 30% on a $1.5 billion base this quarter, most people would be excited. So I think the stock market's reaction might be a little bit, I don't know, a little emotional.
Okay. So the Mirror, the performance of Mirror doesn't reflect in your opinion on them. Get what I did there? See that? Yeah, that was good. Huh? All right. Awesome. All right. Well, all right.
I gotta say that ABC jogger is like the uniform of the suburban male, right? Like on the baseball fields, lacrosse fields, football fields. It's very hard to transition from a women's brand to a brand that also is equally or as successful in men. So Dave, I would high five you on that one.
All right. So good. I think all these picks are pretty solid so far. Wow. I'm shocked though that none of us matched up on retailer of the year. It shows you how many retailers did really well. Okay. My pick is actually Kroger. Ooh. So Kroger stock price done very well. Looked it up, $31 about a year ago. Now at $45 a share. I think the reason I singled them out is because I think they did a total baller move going into Florida and New York by way of the Ocado automation.
Oh God, you love them for that so much.
I do. I mean, they don't have stores and they're saying, hey, we're going to do this. Yeah. Meanwhile, Walmart's trying it in a different way, like trying to go into New York with Instacart, which I think is just laughable given what Kroger's doing. And Kroger's also seemingly from sources experimenting with smaller versions of either the Ocado concept or some different type of automation to get to their more traditional markets as well. Yeah. And so I just think it shows, they've got a handle on where things are going next. So I give them a lot of credit. David, what do you think though?
I mean, I think even over and above that, Kroger going into alternative revenue streams like media and marketing and data, they're very cutting edge. So I think it's a smart pick.
Smart pick. All right. I got the A&M validation on the smart pick. Yeah. I like that.
All right.